But we get our parry back up. She Qs into the tower. We use our parry to avoid the damage, get the slow, and we get the kill there. Yo, what's up, boys? Brandon Wolf here, bringing you another matchup video. This one is going to be against Irelia. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. So going to be going against Irelia in lane. Now this is typically, you'll notice, this lane is typically Fiora favored. Honestly, it's usually Fiora kind of wins this lane, but I have people ask the question and seem to struggle with this lane, which is why I definitely want to make this video and get this one out here, because I feel like the Irelia lane, if you ever see Irelia get locked into you and you're playing Fiora, this should just literally be a free win every time. It should just be a free win. It's very rare that an Irelia is just so unbelievably better than you that it's like she actually has the advantage. Now, typically what we're going to see is Irelia is running Conquer or Lethal Tempo, and then running Ignite as well. So we always match Ignite with Ignite, obviously. These are the runes that I take. I always take carry runes into Irelia because I think that the lane is easy. So I always take carry runes. So that's going to be Conquer, Triumph, and you can run Press the Attack too. You can run Press the Attack as well, but I go Conquer, Triumph, Alacrity, Last Stand, and then Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm for the scaling runes as well. So now what we're looking for, Irelia's whole kit is basically wrapped around her E. So the way Irelia wins lane is by hitting her E and then being able to reset her Q. So we always want to avoid the E, and we can always use the E as a way to stun her as well, which is the thing that we're looking to parry. That's our green light. Basically what we're looking for in this lane, and when to fight, when to take trades, is when she doesn't have full stacks. And that means kind of even under 3, when she has like 3 stacks, it can be a little sketchy. In these early levels, we're looking to take trades, get good trades, get like a Q and then a auto cancel afterwards, so that we can start cutting down her HP, and then try to punish her too. Standing on the front minions and looking for her to Q the minion. Basically, anytime she Qs in, we could look for a punish. So I always stand really close to that front minion, and I want her to Q it so that I can trade with her. Now, obviously, I'm level 2, so she's not going to try. And when she does, we go for it. We get the stun here, which allows us to get a quick one, but we back off. We just stop trading. Once she gets the 4 stack, she will just out damage us by strictly auto attacking us, so we always have to be careful and play off her passive and not allow her to fight us when she has full stack. What we're looking at as well, we got to look at her cooldowns and realize that her E has a 16-second cooldown at level 1, which now our parry, her W as well is a 20-second cooldown. I was trying to dive her there, that wasn't very good. 16 seconds and 20 seconds. So W and E have really high cooldowns, right? And that's what we're, if she doesn't have, once she uses the E, if we're able to just dodge and save our parry, then we can actually use our W as an attack speed slow, and then we could probably fight her when she has the stacks. I'm not sure how this fight goes, actually. This game is from a while ago, so I'll have to remember. Oof. Tried to hit that vital, didn't get it, and we die. Unfortunate. Now, this doesn't really do much for our lane. It kind of just stays. So there's 2 things that you can do, actually. You could take, so I run Ignite, so I don't typically take Executioners into her, but you can take Executioners in this lane because Executioners is just, it's a good item for champions that heal a lot, especially Irelia, because she heals every time she Qs, so Executioners is good. But basically, we're looking to stun her off the E and then go for our all-ins there, which would be, you know, you hit a stun on the E, you go for the trade, you Ignite, and you go all in. And now you got to keep in mind that she can always use her minions, use your minions to run away. So fighting in big minion waves, you have to be aware of that as well. The E is the biggest thing. We're always trying to track the E. So when she puts down that first one, we need to know where the second one's going down, right? So we'll see if she uses it here. So we saw her put one down, and then we instantly, if it's too fast and it's a fast one like that, we kind of can just back off. You have the choice to use your Q to just back away, or you can go for it with the parry. But typically, you really want to like look for that parry to stun, and if the parry's not going to stun, then there's no real point to just waste it, because you can use your parry after she misses the E if you can just dodge it with your Q and keep your cooldown low, and then go for a kill that way as well. So obviously, we are tracking the second E there, right, or the first E, and we know that she puts it down to the side, and then we're looking for that one to finish it, so we can go for the stun, and we can always use the stun to help us out. So we see the E, and we're watching that. We always want to watch that right there. We always want to watch where that first E goes down, and that's where our eyes should be every time. And that's how we're going to manage to win this lane every time as well. Is right when you see that E go down, we're just walking into this bush, because I want to play the bush to get some poke damage. But the second we see this, that means something is up, right? That always means that something is up, because it's on such a high cooldown that anytime that you see that E go down, you got to know that something is about to happen. So right when we see this on the screen, we know that either somebody is setting up for a gank down here, or it could be that somebody is in the bush up here, or obviously there was somebody in the bush right here where I went. So whenever you see that E go down, you got to know that she's looking for a play, a trade, an all-in, or whatever that may be. And if we can use our parry to get the stun, we can turn that against her and get a free kill off of it. Or it's just a way to also know that something is happening too. So we always watch that first E. That's where we keep our eyes. We get the parry there, and we avoid the gank. We keep our HP high. And now even with this low of HP, we can still look for a fight. When she has the lower... when she has the lower stacks, only a few stacks, we can go for it. Now this is just, so what happens when she Qs, right? She Qs and she goes in front of you, right? So this is a way that you could bait somebody as well. Now, the only reason I wasn't able to parry this is because my parry was still down. But we get our parry back up. She Qs into the tower. We use our parry to avoid the damage, get the slow, and we get the kill there. So that's what I'm talking about. The parry can be used to stun, or the parry can be used to completely just take away from Irelia, right? Because she's big on movement speed, and she's big on attack speed. Those are her two things that make Irelia a strong champion. So if we take away that movement speed and take away that attack speed using our parry, even if it's not a stun, then we can easily get the kill. So we get the kill there, which is nice. A little bit of luck as well. But now that we have that 1 kill lead, we should never, ever, ever lose this lane once we get a lead. Once we have any type of lead in this lane, it is our lane, and we can do whatever we want as long as we don't make mistakes. So now that we're past the level 6, we got to look out for the R. The R is really sketchy because even if you stun her with the E, if you're not fast enough and you can't get all 4 vitals, there is a chance that she could just ult you, and that's enough damage to actually kill you. Because, you know, we don't have too much HP. We have 1100 HP right now. If she was to hit her ulti on us and get the reset on the Q, well, then she's still going to do a ton of damage because the Q is going to be doing the 102 plus the stack. So you kind of Q, you auto, and she's going to have faster attack speed. She's got Conquer as well, which will increase her physical damage and her scaling on this, and as well as the damage that ulti does to you. Her ulti does a decent amount of magic damage, and it slows you by 90%. So once you're stuck in that little triangle that is her ulti, it's really hard to get out of it. So once she's ulted you, if she hits you, it's kind of a full-on commit. You're kind of forced to fight at that point, right? And when she's fully stacked, she will beat you. So, but that's another thing. It's kind of like the E. It's a big animation when she throws it, and you can usually Q out of the way or just parry it. It's better to parry the ulti and get stunned by the E. It's way better to parry the ulti, not get hit by that, and then get stunned by the E. Because you don't want to, once your movement speed is down by 90% for 1.5 seconds, all your choices and all your options just go right out the window. So notice how we're just playing the front of the wave, and we want her to try to Q it. That's when we're looking for our trades, and by us playing in front of the wave, she doesn't really have a choice. If she does go in, we could just kill her really easily because she has no way out. So we're minding our minions. We realize that she can go in, if we're standing like here instead, then she can literally just Q into us and then go for that. Let's see this. So we dodged the ulti. I parried. Now I didn't need to flash there, but obviously she kind of held the E, and I kind of panic parried. So I went ahead and just flashed to avoid it, because that's going to be her instant reaction, right? Right when we miss the parry is to throw down the other E. We dodge that. She does throw it just in time for me to get the stun, and we get the kill. Now, the flash was more of a secondary measure just in case, because she was going to throw down that E immediately right where I was going to finish my parry to stun me. We end up getting the double kill on the Akshan support. For some reason, this guy is playing. And then at this point, this lane is just, once again, like I said, once you have that lead, it's just way too difficult for us to actually lose the lane, and we should just never lose the lane. And the biggest power spike we're looking at for her as well, even if we do have a lead, it's really scary when she has Bork though. When she has Bork, that is a scary one. Now in this lane, you can go PTA and you can go Stride and Bork, or you can go Gore Drinker into like Death Dancer Ravenous. You can go either. In this game, I'm going Gore just because I feel like we needed more frontline, so I wanted to be a little bit more tanky, and I didn't want to go Bork when I'm pretty sure that my Master Yi was going to go Bork. And now we can look to Diver here. I'm not sure if we do, but I think that we do. Because now that her W's down, we looked at it earlier as a 20-second cooldown. She used her W. And now we can just look for this. We see that. We keep our eyes on that. We just avoid it entirely, and we go ahead and take the kill. So we're always looking for that first E when she puts it down, and then we know that we can start watching for that. So at this point, we can do whatever we want. Now, we do have to be careful because Irelia obviously pushes really fast. She's kind of like Tryndamere in a split pushing sense that she splits very fast. So She can kill minion waves easily. We're always looking to, you know, creep up on her because there's just nothing that she can really do. So we get hit by that here. We stun that. Perfect. So we watch that first E. I mean, there's really no reason to lose this lane unless you're getting like camped and it's really tough like that. But this lane, the biggest thing, you know, you're looking for, obviously, your green lights are the stun off of her E. You're looking out for her passive stacks, making sure that her passive isn't fully stacked. If her passive is fully stacked, it's way too hard of a fight to take, so you just avoid it. Be mindful of your minions. Stand in front of the minions. Try to punish her when she goes in and Qs them. And always try to dodge the ulti. Never get hit by the ulti, even if you have to Q away. Even if you have to Q away and then take the higher cooldown on your Q, that's always better than getting hit by the ulti as well. But at this point, we're 5-1. I wonder if we might get to see her use Bork and see that crazy Bork damage, even though she is so far behind. But notice how I ran back to lane and I went through the brush there instead, just in case she was pushing the lane so I could stay off vision and get a quick kill on her. Because we can always sneak up behind Irelia and go for a kill very easily, especially at this point in the game. Like I said, notice how she has already pushed the wave in and she's like getting the tower. So we're kind of roaming and then going back to catch her. She can never 1v1 us, even if we don't have ulti at this point, because we're so ahead. So we're always looking for a way to catch her off the map. So literally, just like, you can just chase her down. When she doesn't have minions to use for mobility and movement speed, she just can't get away. So I'm chasing her down just because we got those kills bot lane, so we know that nobody's really here to help her. We dodge that, and we're just not going to go for it because Diana's here. But at this point, we're just so ahead that it really does not matter. And we can do whatever we want. But we were able to get the lead because we understand the Irelia lane. But we're taking advantage of the lead that we have in splitting. At this point, we can dive Irelia. At this point, when we have two items like this, we can definitely just dive her and kill her. So now we're being the split pushing menace, and there's not a lot we can do. Kind of like just roaming around the map. We're floating around like a shark. We get that bot tower, and then we rotated towards mid to help and see if we could help with the mid tower. Now we're back to mid, and we're ready to make a play on either of these waves, the top or the bot wave, to try and get the tower. So we're being the menace. We're just looking for somewhere to go, somewhere to help the team with. This is a great play, actually. This just goes to show the lead that you can get into Irelia. And we also got ganked by Diana, and we got ganked by the Akshan support a few times as well, and we were still able to make it work. So notice how we parry the Irelia ulti there so we don't get that 1.5 second 90% slow. We avoid that. We also got a lucky stun there, too, using our whip at the right time to get both vitals hit, to get a little bit more HP, damage, and movement speed out. And then going for the pentakill here. I don't believe that I get the pentakill, sadly. But we got a quadra kill. And basically, that's the entirety of the laning phase. To recap, what you're looking for, essentially, your green lights are always going to be the parry on her E, on her daggers, her stun, because that is her whole kit. Her whole kit. The whole reason Irelia works in the first place is she has to hit her E, and if she doesn't hit her E, then it's just a free low for you. So green light hitting that, low stacks, and minding your minions, making sure that you know where your minions are, and if she comes and tries to trade with you, if she has a way out, it's always better to not, you know, fully commit and use your flash and use your ignite and do all that, when she could easily, if you're fighting like right here, let's say, and she could just queue back to this minion and then walk away, then she just got all your sums out for free, right? Red lights, things that you want to definitely avoid fighting her with is when you do have a lot of minions that are low health and she's fighting in them, because she can just bounce around them and make it really hard for you. When she has full stacks, that's also scary as well. And be mindful of her cooldowns. They're very high. The W is 20 seconds and the E is 16 at level 1, and that's not going to start changing until she gets into the level 9, level 10 range. So that's for the early game. Also, be wary of her ulti. Always avoid getting hit by the ulti. Always avoid getting hit by the ulti. And that is the lane against Irelia. Hopefully, this video helps you out, and the next time you play against Irelia, you will carry your game. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.